Okay, so a warm welcome to all the research buddies from various who have agreed to be part of this workshop on documenting EdTech research that is being conducted by the Educational Technology Society in collaboration with the IDP in Educational Technology at IIT Bombay. So this is done as part of what do you say, a curtain raiser towards T4E 2024, the flagship conference of EdTech Society. This workshop will be coordinated by me, Dr. Jayakrishnan from the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Along with me, I have Nandan and Spruha from the IDP in ET at IIT Bombay, working with you all over the next 1.5 months to what do you say, to do help a lot of participants who are taking part in this workshop to document their EdTech research journey and submit to the Technology for Education conference, either in a practitioner track or in the research track. So the organizers, as I said, is the EdTech Society and the IDP in IIT Bombay. EdTech Society is a professional non-profit association which started in 2021 by a set of individuals who are committed to improve instruction and learning through use of educational technology. What do we generally do? We provide a platform for linking research and best practices in EdTech to improve the state of learning and instruction both within India and internationally. So the idea of EdTech Society is at some point EdTech Society should provide the leadership to conduct, disseminate, and also implement evidence-based research practices within teaching and learning across teaching and learning while using educational technologies, so that the overall process becomes more effective and efficient. So that's the larger mission with which the society is working. So some of our initiatives that we have taken towards this direction are a set of master classes, industry interactions, in focus interviews with experts, which will and provide a little bit more of sensitization. So all these are sensitization activities that we do. And you can follow us in LinkedIn. There is a separate WhatsApp group where we have created a community, and we also have a formal YouTube channel to disseminate a lot of our sessions and the other activities. The International Conference on Technology for Education, T4E, this year it will be T4E 2024, is aimed at what do you say, understanding technology for, of, in, and across education. Okay, this is organized by EdTech Society. This edition of the conference is going to happen during December 6th to 8th this year at IIT Gandhinagar. And the whole idea is, as a build up towards this conference, we want to connect people who are interested in the area of EdTech, connect them to a larger group of people who are interested in doing research within EdTech area, uh, and in that process also create a community of practitioners and researchers who are well connected. Some in the So if you actually go to the website has been provided by Spruha in the chat. So there are 8 themes under the for, of, in, and across umbrella that we have. So the conference accepts original research papers either as a full paper or as short papers, and also accept experience report, full paper or short papers. The conference will also have hands-on workshops, best practices and teaching demos, as well as tool and product demos. Possibly there could be industry panels, etc. happening in the conference. A little bit about the IDP NEET program at IIT Bombay, which started in 2010. There are 6 core faculty and 15 associate faculty from various domains. There are approximately 45 research scholars, of which 20 and 25 alumni. An MTech program has also been started by the department in 2019. These are the key areas that the EdTech IIT Bombay department works on, and a lot of research buddies who have joined are from the EdTech IIT department, and so we hope there will be a lot more of interaction among the buddies themselves, so that both the aspects, the conference as well as research aspects, are better discussed, and the platform is also set for further collaborations and partnerships. So this particular workshop, hope all of you would have received a form, and where we had asked whether you want to come in as a participant or as a buddy. So when we had initially floated, we got almost 68 participants, and out of these 68, there were 40 who have submitted a research idea. And a brief demography of the participants you can see over here. More than half of them are teachers, but we also have sizable distribution among industry professionals, pre-service teachers or the student teachers, research scholars, and other segments who are involved in learning and instruction. Okay, so this is the brief overview of the application, and we had a session for them yesterday where we gave an orientation of what this workshop is about and what you will get, what are the expectations from the workshop, and we had asked them one question as to what their expectations are. So around 28 people had joined yesterday, and the the people who joined, so this is a word cloud of uh, what they said about their expectation from the workshop. So you can see that a significant of them are expecting some sort of exposure, hands-on exposure to paper writing or training in paper writing. But you can also see the various aspects related to research, like literature review, methodology, documentation, guidance, etc., coming over there. So so the larger idea that we communicated with them also is same. It's like many of them will be doing different practices. So this workshop is aimed at channeling those on top of the practices that they do, channeling their experiences to document their practices in a systematic manner. Okay, so how do you document whatever you do in a systematic manner and communicate with a larger audience, as mentioned in the title of this workshop. So we had also collected from you the background and the disciplines and expertise from each of you when you had filled out the form. So this is a word cloud that we created out of it, and we see that from the highlighted keywords, there seems to be research, education, mentoring. All these seems to be slightly prominent. So I'm hoping that most of you will be tuned towards the basic processes of mentoring someone who is first time doing a research in EdTech, EdTech area specifically. But also see, the other part of it is we also have support resources. So do not worry, you're not alone. In the subsequent slides, you will also see the various support resources that we have, and our facilitators are Struha and Nandan would also be available to discuss and brainstorm with you of possible things that we can do to help these participants better. So you could see these, yeah, the highlights. So one small thing that I would request all of you is use this opportunity to go to this Menti, and now that you have listened to what I've been saying and also seen what the participants are, who the participants are, what they are expecting. Uh, what I would want to know from you is what are your expectations from the workshop. So you can scan this code. It will open a Menti page. So if this Menti page is, yeah, and in this Menti page, you can uh, put in your responses. So the next couple of minutes, if you could spend on uh, responding back to this query, that would be great. Just take a look at uh, four responses have come now. I think we have close to 16 people in this meet. It has increased to, oh wow, 14 people have responded. So interaction, learning, research writing, research collaboration, co-authorship, networking, exposure to mentoring, interaction. Fantastic. I think pretty good. Uh, yeah, learning collaboration is something that is coming up big over here. Yeah, 23 responses. Just right. Collaboration, learning, and networking seems to be the key takeaway. So I'll quickly go back. So I think, I mean, uh, after listening to each of you, uh, yeah, I think so. Something that I would say from my side is what you can expect from this workshop are, of course, the resources, the support from our side. We also do a little bit of, try to do a little bit of personalization in aligning your areas of strength with the participant ideas, so that they get, I mean, both you will also have some grounding on the area that they are coming from, and you will also be able to advise or support students, the mentees a little bit more. So we are calling this as a research buddy. I think Nandan will be highlighting this a little bit more when he explains this. Explain these expectations a little bit more. But the overall idea is that, I mean, this is an exercise where we are trying to build collaboration, build a community, and the idea is the ideas that people bring in. If we can support them in one way or the other, that is the key thing that we are looking into. So I'll pass over the baton to Nandan to explain this in a little bit more detail. Yeah, Nandan, please.
Thanks, JK. Yeah, so as JK emphasized, so we have planned a LMS and uploaded few curated few of the content about specific to research methods, EdTech research methods. So so we are expecting all of you to go through that content and refresh your research method knowledge. Then me and Spruha will be always in position for if you need any help. Don't think that we are giving you a buddy and leaving alone. So we'll be giving the whole support whenever needed. The specific expectations, what we are expecting from you is, JK? Yeah, yeah. So there will be weekly live sessions. During that live sessions, research buddies, participants, and all the coordinators will be coming together. So we are planning Saturdays, evening 6 to 7 is the weekly live sessions. So you are encouraged to attend these lively sessions. Actually, we are putting making it as mandatory that because during this session only we'll be discussing the doubts, challenges, and all. So when you start to work on cohorts, small group, you may not be the issues you are facing may be the same challenges the other people also facing. So this live sessions we are using to share those challenges, common challenges, and find out solutions. Then we are encouraging you to participate in the discussion forums. So we have a Telegram group. We have created a channel, Telegram group channel. So you all of you have to join that group. So all the workshop related announcement from now onwards will be through this Telegram group only. Also, we are planning. So while learning the research method content from the LMS, tutor LMS, if you find out something interesting, then you can post some focus questions in the Telegram group in order to maintain that group active and to give some opportunity for the participants also to reflect and respond to that question. So we'll also coordinators also will be posting discussion forum focus questions, but we are welcoming you also to participate and actively responding. Then we are requesting all of you to monitor the Telegram group. The other expectations are about once, so in the initial 3 weeks, this week and the coming 2 weeks, participants will be learning the content from the tutor LMS. You also have to go through that. And they will be submitting two assignments mainly. One is idea proposal, then another is study plan. So as a pre-workshop assignment, they have proposed ideas, research ideas. During the next week, this coming week, they will be refining their research idea and submitting that as an idea proposal. So we will connect you with the participants in the next meeting. Before that, we are also planning a Padlet activity. Where in that activity, we will be sharing the research ideas with you, and you will get a chance to give preferences for if you like any particular idea, you can give preference. Based on that, we will be allotting participants to you. Once participants are allotted, then you have to work with them and improve, refine the research ideas and help them to submit study plan also. So during this phase and after that also, you will be working closely with the participants. During this time, you are supposed to meet your buddy regularly. So it will be a one-on-one meeting with you and your research buddy. So the timing of meeting, everything you can discuss with your buddy and decide. And if you have any, if you need any help during that time, in any specific day, if you need a particular support from course team, so we'll also can join that meetings. And we are requesting you to give constructive feedbacks. These participants are not much familiar. They are new to the research area, even though they have experience in teaching. They are new to the research. So while giving feedback, highlight their strength, and also if they are weak in some area, give them how to improve that. Give them resources and tell them how to overcome that challenge. So we are expecting a constructive feedback from your side. The other suggestion is about so once we connect you with the participants, you have freedom to go up to co-authorship level. So your expectations and their expectations, you have to discuss with each other and negotiate, and you have to set your own goals. So each group will have their own goals. So that is the initial activity for you. Once we are connecting, then you have to talk to them and open to them, like make clear that these are the time expectations, and this much time you can spend for them. So all the things, make it clear in the initial time itself and set the goals. Then other suggestions about tracking the progress, like once so after 25th, after the next thing, after study plan submission, you will be closely working with the participant. We may not be there may not be any common meeting. So during this time, you have to track the progress of the student. We will also tracking your progress, like your engagement with the participants, by talking with the participants separately. But your role is to what we are expecting from you is that you have to track the progress of the participant, and you can use Google Doc or Trello kind of websites for tracking that, tracking the milestones, deadlines, everything. Then please uh, what to say, please report the progress frequently, regularly, at least weekly, with the coordination team. So these are the expectations from your side. Okay.
Uh, So I think Nandan and I have given a brief overview, but yeah, generally, I mean, this is like guiding a small, what do you say, research activity, right? And it has its own challenges and other things. So while the expectations, what you said, learning, collaboration, and from participants also research, writing, etc., are there. The due dates for technology for education, as I said, the whole idea is through this partnership we are planning that at least there is at least a submission to the T4E conference. I mean, but writing a paper in 40 days has its own challenge. I mean, starting from idea generation to refining it further, scoping it further, and then converting it into a study and then documenting the study has is a big process in altogether. And all we have is another 40 days. Somewhere towards the end of June is what the deadline of T4 is. So, so here is a question to all of you, and you can respond back in chat. Uh, I mean, as somebody who has already been exposed to research, writing, maybe papers, etc., which elements of a research paper can be supported in 40 days and how? This is a question that we want each of you to think about and respond in the chat. So when I say supported, it is in single quotes, in the sense that, okay, I mean, there are a lot of conditions apply to it, right? So, I mean, whatever are your assumptions, please put it forward. I mean, be very explicit when you write. So, we would want to know from you. I mean, imagine yourself as a person who is supporting someone to write a paper in 40 days. Which all, which all elements of a research paper? A research paper will have literature review, method, data collection, analysis, discussion, etc. Right? So these are the kind of things that can be that will be part or elements of a research paper. So among these, which all do you think can be supported and how? I mean, how in the sense, okay, through I mean, of course, there will be multiple dialogues, multiple interactions. If there are other methods that you can think of, please do post that as well. Okay, so I see. I'm just reading out the different answers from each of you. Review of literature, initial steps of methodology, methodology of action research, RQs, writing style, flow of paper, interpretation of results and story from submission, research objectives, methodology, brief literature review, help them coming up with RQs in their own areas of interest, data collection, literature survey, objective of paper or RQs, models. Uh, okay, if they have already done something but did not look at it from a research hat, we can train them on RQs, analysis, and paper writing. Same thing, I think if data is already collected, then RQs, literature, methodology, findings can be done, literature search, and frame matrix. So a lot of you are coming, yeah, most things except data collection and experimentation. Yeah, I think a lot of you are touching up, and this is my next question. Okay, so and you said which can be supported. Can you identify what cannot be supported in 40 days? Interpretation and analysis is challenging. Data collection, data analysis. Yeah, I think we will all converge on uh, something. I mean, I think this will be almost equivocal, is what I feel. But let's see. What do people think? Uh, Anyone want to add on what cannot be supported in 40 days? Wait for a minute more just to see whether there are any different answers. Yeah, ethics is approval from ethics committee is a problem. Analysis. Data access, reviews. I think all of you are almost unanimous in saying, yeah, data collection and then doing analysis is going to be a difficult task. Yeah, permission to collect data, yes. Okay, so I think the points are valid. I think except for the major chunk of data collection, I mean, if there aren't enough mechanisms to collect data, then it will be really hard. So I think what we also have to be very realistic when we go about the process is also to see what each of these people can convert. I mean, how does their idea be more tangible? I think that's something that we will have to see. And how can it be converted into a useful paper that is also for the conference, also the technology for education conference, also it makes a lot of sense that there is a variety of different contexts coming in, and people are presenting their versions of their own educational research experience. I think the larger idea is to document the educational research experience. So I think it is perfectly all right to have these challenges, but I mean the larger aim of this workshop is to uh, help these people to navigate the process of converting it from an idea or something that they implemented which goes undocumented to converting it into a documented form in some way. So that's why the conference has two tracks. One is the intense research track where we look at the rigor, we look at every aspect, whether the method is appropriate, whether the yeah, are they employing the correct lens of analysis? Are the discussions coherent, etc.? So where the rigor of review will be a little bit more higher for the research track, whereas there is a practitioner track where we understand that as a practitioner there is a lot of challenge to make practice into a research. So here we are looking at a overall coherence of, have they looked at the right thing, are they collecting the same thing, is there a decent foundation on top of which they have based their practice on, are there some meaningful results that can be showcased. So there is this, so couple of calls that you will have to take is to see whether the papers, the ideas can be converted into a research track or a practitioner track. And both are okay, because at the end of the day, it is, I mean, the research track gives more rigor, whereas a practice track is useful to understand where they are, right? I mean, that understanding is, and it gives a fair bit of platform, and there will be some diverse, what do you say, diverse set of ideas coming out from different people. So, as a conference and as a society, the idea is to provide a platform for these various voices to be heard, and also provide a collaboration opportunity for people to further refine it in the subsequent months. So the, I mean, the hopefully the collaboration will not end in June. I mean, some of these collaborations we hope that it extends further, and there are more what do you say, direct interactions between teachers, I mean, practitioners and researchers through this process. So that's the whole platform that we are looking at. And uh, uh, and for this particular purpose we have, I mean, so what we have tried doing is the following. I think Nandan or Spruha, if you could just elaborate the workshop plan to everyone along with the dates, I mean, so what exactly we are trying to do, it would be great.
Sure, JK. So, in the first week of the workshop, that is this coming week, we will have module one that we you can use as a refresher of research methods on Tutor LMS platform. Then after this, within this week, we are planning to have one activity for research buddies, where the purpose of this activity is to get your preferences of the participant ideas, that idea submissions. So you might get about three options. So between those three, we will try to allot you one of them. That is the tentative plan. Your submission will be on 23rd May, and we will have an online meeting with participants and all of you on 25th. In the week after that, we are planning to have a little bit more chaos because we want to even combine some of the participants, some of the research buddies, and some research buddies could also volunteer to go in a co research buddy role. So, in that sense, we will have a Padlet activity. In terms of the LMS, we will have module 2 releasing in the second week, and it will go on for like up to June 8th. In that week, participants will be creating idea proposal submissions and study plan submission documents. So during this time, we require you to support the participants and conduct these meetings that we have, periodic meetings. All the duties that Nandan previously has explained will begin from that May 25th timeline. Uh, then we will again have an online meeting with everyone on June 8th. And after that, there will be time for execution of the study, collection of data, and writing paper, review of the paper by from your research buddy, and maybe coordinators can help in it. So the abstract submission deadline of T4E that has been designated is June 23rd. We are coordinating with T4E program committee to allow us abstract submission by June 30th, when our workshop plan is about to end. And we are expecting that the submission deadlines for abstract and paper will extend. Uh, so that's the tentative plan of the workshop. Ideally, even if we are planning that these interactions will lead to T4E papers, but in future there is an opportunity to connect and also work around, these same research group that you formed during this workshop can continue your collaboration. Can we move on to the next slide? Do you want to add anything? Jake, you're on mute.
No, I think so. The idea, like what Spruha said, is I mean, so the whole purpose is so this is not the first time that we are running this workshop. So some of you have been part of the buddy program in the previous year. Some of you have submitted papers in conference T4E conference last year. So that's how we have also shortlisted some of you. We have personally invited some of you to be a buddy. The idea is like what Spruha said. I mean, last time when we started off, I think we had some 17, 18 participants originally. Then it came down to 11 submissions that got mentored. Out of 11, 8 got submitted. So we expect a lot of attrition throughout this process. So it's not going to be straightforward. But the whole process of connecting, understanding an idea, see whether it is possible to document the key things. That's the I mean, we are more focused on the process rather than on what do you say, getting a very fantabulous research paper out. I mean, that's not the goal. The goal is to go through that process of research in a systematic manner and get it converted and get it documented. Many a times, especially in Indian academia, what we have seen is educational technology is lagging behind because a lot of good practices go undocumented. And this is an exercise from our side to see whether some of these practitioners will come forward, whether we can empower them to document their practices in a more systematic manner, and we have a research community to support them in the process. And so this is the tutor LMS. So Spruha, you may want to talk about the topics, and Spruha and Nandan, if you can just talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, in if you can see it on the left hand side, you will see some of the initial learning content is video watching, but it is not a very passive video watching. These are LEDs, that is learning dialogues, in which you will get to reflect on some of the content that you watched. You get to interact and give some answers and think while you are watching. So that is the way these learning dialogues happen. It's kind of a two-way communication. So this will be a refresher for you to hear these research methods and what is a research paper, what is not a research paper. Then we have a analysis of strong and weak research papers in ET, where you have kind of assignment submission, a small scale assignment submission. Similarly, then so these are learning by doing activities, in which you are supposed to create something as an outcome. So, uh, in I think the next one, yeah, there is a self assessment of your own research idea. There may be like, if you don't have a research idea initially, you can think about the participant research idea that you pick in the first year, first week, and then talk about that. That is also fine. uh, there are some learning extension trajectory videos which are optional watches if you want. How to read research papers and tips on literature review. What is the reference referee looking for in your paper? Basically, these will help you to write the paper in future, as well as prepare your own the candidate, that participant that gets allotted to you as a buddy. Prepare them also for this research related specific topics.
Of soundness of the procedure.
In the end, we have an assignment idea proposal. So idea proposal assignment, actually the participants will be submitting, You will be helping them out if you get paired. I don't think in the first module you won't get paired, but I think your feedback on their ideas that we will receive as your activity, we can share with them. So that is the first outcome that the first submission that the participants are going to do. JK, do the research buddy have to submit this assignment as well?
No,
No,
Shruva.
na?
So only
No.
participants have to submit the assignments,
Yeah.
but such body has to go through all the learning content,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
LEDs.
In
Okay, so yeah, so I mean, so you understand that, I mean, so we have introduced this tutor LMS to all our participants yesterday. I think they will be starting to enrolling themselves today. So over the next 1 week, what we are expecting is that all these participants will log in, they will go through the content. Their initial idea, whatever they had, it will now it will go through some grind of after watching these videos and doing all these activities, they that initial idea will get a little bit more refined. So by the time we start interactions between you and the participants, what we are hoping is that the buddy and participants will now they will see a common frame under which they can now look at ideas, they can refine ideas, they can give feedback. These are the things that we will be hoping that happens in the subsequent week. So the final idea proposal submission, which is scheduled for 30th May, at least the buddies would have at least gone through the idea once, listened to the idea at least once, and provided some comments is what we are hoping. And see, many ideas. So the major task of a buddy, at least in the first week, is to keep the focus to a very narrow or a precise area that is practically possible. Like you said, a lot of different things. I mean, they are good research ideas, but may not be implementable, or you may not be able to support in a 40-day duration. So that scope, that window, I mean, creating that window and scoping it down is the major exercise that we are expecting over the next 2 weeks. We will also be sharing you the initial ideas. So that is the selection activity that Nandan and Spruha was talking about. So all these individual participants have been talking about several research ideas and the kind of methods that they may take to investigate that idea and document it. So you will be able to see the kind of research ideas. One aspect is you can give feedback to those ideas and the methods, and also you can set a preference, as in if you would want to. I mean, you will see some very interesting ideas over there, and if it aligns with your area of interest or area of research, please give your preference over there. It would help us to do the matchmaking, so to say, so that, I mean, the subsequent weeks become a little bit more smoother. And see, the expectation is, though the expectation is that most of them will do this systematic way, you know that in reality it's a very challenging process. So one request to all of you is, I mean, even if, let's say, there are difficulties and other things, one very humble request to all of you is keep motivating your mentees. And that is very much required because they may be doing this for the first time, and they will be absolutely lacking in confidence. We are giving them a very small time window to submit. So the idea is not, like I said, the idea is not to give up, I mean, a 40-page thesis or a 100-page thesis to come out of the research. The idea is, the core idea behind all this exercise is, if they have done something or if they are planning to do something, how to go about it systematically, how do you build a frame of reference. I mean, something that has already been said in literature, how do you anchor it on top of it, and how do you document it systematically. That's the whole goal. Okay, it's not about coming with a best paper for T4E. I mean, if a best paper comes, nothing like it, but the point is, this is their entry point to talk to researchers, talk to other practitioners who are also on the same boat. Okay, so I mean, this is like that initial initiation into a community. Okay, think of it as an initiation activity to the community. Motivate them to the best of your abilities. Impart whatever you have learned through your own process of research. Whatever you have learned, give tips, give ideas to them so that it could be refined. And the good ones, I mean, we are not expecting 100% submissions. I mean, there are some 20, 30 odd people, and we expect attrition. So attrition is expected because a lot of other factors are also there. I mean, their own personal work, personal commitments, etc. are there. Your own personal commitments are also there. So the amount of time that they get, I mean, we are expecting very little time. And that's the, I mean, that synchronous time between the buddy and the participant is one of the key aspects. So if you could give some, I mean, earmark certain time in discussion with the participant and give them some time to listen to what they did, the ideas that they have, that itself is a huge what do you say, achievement for this workshop, because at least these practitioners are able to listen to you, listen to what you did, learn from you. I think that it goes a big way. Yeah, Nandan and Spruha, back to
Yeah,
you.
we can move on to the last one where we can talk about what to do next.
Yeah.
S- So going forward, first thing is you can sign up on EdTech Society website. Use your same email that you have registered with us, and you can create your username and password, and we will share a link to the course LMS, and you can join that LMS content. Then second thing is join the Telegram group. I've posted the link to the group in our chat window. We will be sharing all the links in the email that we will send afterwards, after this session. Please follow the research buddy topics because we will be posting the announcement related to research buddy on that. Similarly, to starting tomorrow or the day after, we will be trying to encourage the participant to go through learning content. So we will be posting some simplistic, interesting activities on Telegram with a new channel, with a new topic. So please follow that. If you are following it, respond to the posts that we are the coordinators post. uh, Next thing is we have, as I talked earlier, we have selection activity which will be submitted, which is to be submitted by 23rd May. We will be releasing that activity tomorrow, and in the week that follows, this after this 25th, uh, to collaborate, meeting together, we will be sharing a Padlet activity to give an opportunity to identify or connect with the suitable participant. So that's the plan for the next things. We will send an email with all these slides also, in just after this session. Yeah, anything you want to add, Nandan?
Yeah, actually, I would like to make a special mention about a few of the research buddies who have joined this time. So, namely, Natasha, Ganesh, Anupriya, Shonika, they were the previous participants of this workshop. So, we have selected them because of the quality of the papers published in the last T4E. So, special thanks to the last year participants and becoming this time the research buddies. Yeah, if
Yeah, I
you
mean,
have any,
if yeah, if you have, I mean, if you have something to share from last year's experience, something that you gained, something that you learned from that, it would be nice. I mean, one of you can just unmute yourself and speak to the other research buddies. It's a stunned silence. It's okay. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Hi,
so I just
Shrunika.
wanted. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Natasha. I'll follow you.
Go ahead, Shrunika.
No, so I just wanted to say that it was a eye opener last time. The research buddy program. Of course, I was not the buddy at the time. I was writing the paper actually. But as you said, as JK sir said rightfully, yes, it was like the resources were there. We had excellent LEDs. But what really kind of pushed me to write was the confidence given by the documenting at a research workshop, because the resources are available otherwise also, like we can seek and find them, but ultimately it's the accompaniment, the encouragement that kind of really helped me cross the finish line. So I'm looking forward to be able to give back and see where it goes this time as well.
Yeah, Natasha, you want to add?
Yeah, just in one line, I thought it was very comprehensive, the workshop, and the support given just made it possible. Like that you have a buddy to help you with. And Ishika is also here, who was our buddy at that time. So we're very grateful for the support and hoping to have other people to experience it also.
Yeah, thanks, Shunika and Natasha. So, see, I mean, if you look at it, the idea is we will be conducting these kind of workshops at periodic intervals. And the idea, like I said, the larger goal is to have a larger community. So, even if, let's say, some of the ideas, I mean, may not materialize into a paper, but people can work on it afterwards. You can collaborate independently. This workshop is only providing you that helping hand on understanding what research is, and we are only talking one. I mean, the workshop primarily talks about experimental research, which is easier for novice researchers to understand, rather than the more what do you say, the qualitative kind of research, which requires a lot of understanding of methods and that subjective interpretation, which is a bit hard at this moment. So, yeah, any questions from any of the buddies here? You can either post it in chat or you can unmute and ask your question. Okay. Like I said, this week is a little bit of light week for buddies, because you just have to go through the content. I mean, if you are already familiar with the content, then yeah, you get a sense of what it is. The key thing from an activity perspective that you would want to look at is what are the ideas put forward by the participants. I think, see, what is going to happen is each of them have an idea. Through the that first week content, they are going to refine the idea. They may even come up with a completely new idea after going through the content, which is also possible. But to get a sense of what the idea is, we will be sharing something with you in a day's time. A list of ideas. I think it's going to be put in a Padlet, right, Spruha?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. So it will be in a Padlet. So you can see the entire set of ideas. I mean, yeah, we may not be able to name who put the idea, but the larger focus is what the theme is and what the idea is. So that's what we will be focusing on. And you can pick from there, as in what the idea is, and what we are expecting from your side is at least 2 to 3 ideas. If you could give feedback, constructive feedback on, and also give preferences on 2 to 3 ideas, like whichever you would want to listen to more interesting perspectives, that would be really welcome. So we'll be sharing the Padlet with all of you, and you can actually comment on the Padlet. So we'll also come to know, okay, who has commented. So one suggestion while you are commenting on the Padlet, uh, uh, yeah, if you're not logging into the Padlet, then at least while providing the comment, also mention who you are, so that we know, we exactly know who gave the comment. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult to allot participants. So ideally, if you could log into the Padlet, nothing like it. that would be more preferred, and it will be a yeah. So and give comments on the ideas. So next week when we meet, we will be actually having a discussion with the participants. So we are expecting a 1 hour session. So we will not have too many slides for that. We may be just discussing ideas, and we'll be just summarizing. These are the kind of ideas. What do people think? What kind of comments are there, and where the scope of improvement is there? Generally, and if you have not seen the workshop content, please do watch it. I mean, it may seem dense. I think the overall content is roughly 3 hours or something, right?
Right.
And then how much is?
Yeah, so each content is around 15 to 20 minutes, less than that.
Yeah.
And few
So
of them
the
are optional watches.
yeah, the optional watches have so it's part of it is curated from a. I mean, yeah. Let me talk a little bit about the genesis. This was actually a workshop that the EdTech department had conducted 12 years back into 2012. So 2012, 2013. That's when this workshop was conducted. It was conducted in a large scale mode. So the same exercise that you see. So we had almost 3,000 participants, and these are teachers from engineering colleges across the country. They took this workshop, they did the idea planning, study planning exercise. From there, I think we selected some 60 odd participants for mentoring. And out of those 60, finally, 11 sustained, 11 submitted the paper and submitted papers. And out of the 11, I think 8 got approved. I mean, the peers, the as part of the so all these papers go through the standard conference peer review process. So these were going through the regular peer review process, and out of that peer review, out of that 11, 8 were submitted. So we have a history of attempting these kind of crazy experiments every time, and this was for T4E. So last year we reinitiated that particular experiment just to see whether we are able to build a community. I mean, with a more clear focus on developing a community and trying to, yeah, connect researchers and practitioners more together. So this is that. Yeah. So this is the general genesis, and yeah, if there are no questions, I think Spruha and Nandan would be sharing all the details in an email. The entire recording of this workshop, along with other details, will be sent to you via email. Please do take time to go through the various content and also do the activity. Uh, Looking forward to meeting all of you in the subsequent week, where we will also have the participants join for the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
Spruha and Nandan, for doing it again. Looking forward.
Likewise.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. So we can close the meeting now. Yeah, and you will receive all the communication via email from our side. And then you can stop the recording and.
Hmm.